Yo, what is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 gameplay video. Every season there's that one weapon that like really speaks to you, you know? The one that you know even after the season is done and over with, you'll probably come back to it again and again just because you had a great relationship with it. Last season for me that was the Plug 1 and the Chroma Rush, right? The Plug 1 became an instant favorite. I logged over 5,000 Crucible kills on it. Chroma Rush took me through many raids, a couple of flawless solo dungeon runs, and before that, in the Season of the Chosen, it was the Time-Worn Spire and the Brass Attacks, which have been displayed on my channel in dozens of videos by now. We may be only on our second week of the new season, but I think I found that weapon that really speaks to me this season already. And it's the Peacebond sidearm from Iron Banner. This is a kinetic stasis sidearm, and a first of its kind in that regard. It's an adaptive frame, but it's a burst fire sidearm that fires 491 rounds per minute. Now, we're going to go over several different features of this weapon, but the big takeaway here is that there's like nothing going against it. It excels in just about every meaningful department. Let's start with showing off my role and what I'm using in this gameplay. In just 24 hours, I was able to put 500 kills on this thing, and I have no intention of stopping soon. My Peacebond rolled with Swashbuckler, which makes, is a great perk for sidearm, right? Especially with the way that I play them. When I'm on my Warlock, I play Devour mostly, so sometimes I'll take a couple of shots with the sidearm, and then I'll clean up with the melee. Now that activates Devour, it gives me full health, and now because of Swashbuckler on my sidearm, it's going to do enough damage to 2-burst kill players, and I can endlessly chain health refreshes and massive damage until there's nothing else to shoot or I die. Because if you're not familiar with Swashbuckler, it's like Rampage and it stacks up to 5 stacks, but if you get a melee kill, it goes straight to 5 stacks. So that just works perfectly with the way that I play Warlock. Alternatively, I also run a lot of Gunslinger these days. You've seen it on the channel lately in a lot of videos, and so getting a kill with a throwing knife, it gives me the same massive damage boost. And this video is chocked full of 2-burst kills where I have Swashbuckler up and running. There's no shortage of enemies in PvP, so getting into situations where Swashbuckler matters happens pretty organically multiple times every match. And there's even some kill streaks in here where you're going to see numbers where this sidearm is doing over 50 damage in a single bullet. It's a burst fire weapon, and I'm sometimes doing over 50 damage in a single bullet. That is insane, by the way, and it's because I'm also using Surprise Attack, the sidearm charged with light mod. So if I have a charged magazine and Swashbuckler active, sometimes the numbers you're going to see are just going to blow your freaking mind, and people are just going to melt like butter when I'm shooting them. I also have Rangefinder on my sidearm. If you were unaware, Rangefinder is an S-tier perk for most weapons, especially dueling weapons that tend to occupy closer range engagement spaces. On a sidearm, it's a great way to push your weapon out into dueling spaces where you would normally need like a hand cannon or an auto rifle or a fusion rifle to compete. You can see in the video just how far I'm willing to take gunfights with this thing while I'm ADS'd. Rangefinder is a game changer for this thing, and is only complemented by the absolutely astronomical stability stat on this weapon, which we will touch on in a minute. Other than that, my Peacebond also has Tactical Mag for a bigger magazine, which pairs well with Swashbuckler. It gives you extra stability as well, and a really nice buff to your reload speed. It has Corkscrew rifling for extra range, stability, and handling. And finally, a Stability Masterwork. Now, all of that adds up to give my Peacebond a stability value of 99, nearly max stability. This thing is a laser beam. Even with a different role, with less stability, this sidearm is one of the most beautifully manageable sidearms in the game, especially for a burst fire. Keep an eye on the gameplay and just note how little vertical recoil this thing has while I'm dueling. It doesn't kick up into your sight picture or obscure your vision with horrible muzzle flash. A lot of times guns have this curse where those two things work against each other, where it's like a double whammy. It has kind of bad muzzle flash, But that's even more accentuated. It's even worse when the gun also has bad recoil. So the barrel kind of kicks up into your face, into your sight picture, and there's a big flash. So it's like you're looking at fireworks every time you're shooting the gun. This gun has none of that. None of that. Very manageable recoil. Like, the vertical recoil just seems like it's not there. And because of that, there is some muzzle flash on the gun. All guns have some muzzle flash. But it's contained. It's you know, down by the barrel. It doesn't pop up into your face. Finally, I landed on running a hip fire grip mod on it because a lot of times I'm jumping and I need to accurately shoot without restricting my tracking speed while ADSing. A lot of times I'll start an engagement against a moving target with hip fire shots until I can comfortably aim down sights later in the engagement. The aim assist value on my roll sits at a very nice 69. That's not as high as many of its competitors in the sidearm family, but frankly, with how smooth this thing is to operate and with how manageable the recoil is, you don't need high aim assist. Compare that to the Traveler's Chosen, which sits at 85 aim assist, but conversely has a stability value much lower at 73. It's all a give and take, and I like where Peacebond lands in the relationship between aim assist and stability. The next thing we need to talk about is the Peacebond's perk pool, which is also impressive. In the first column, you have a great lineup including Rangefinder, which we already talked about, Tunnel Vision, which will ramp up your aim assist values dramatically after reloading after a kill, Subsistence, which pairs well with damage dealing perks like Swashbuckler, Pulse Monitor, which is, in my opinion, criminally slept on. I run Pulse Monitor on one of my favorite Keenings. Pulse Monitor fully reloads your weapon and gives you a big handling buff when your shields break, even if the weapon is stowed. There's Killing Wind, which we know is an S tier PvP perk at this point, giving out big range buffs and handling buffs while also boosting your mobility stat after a kill. And finally, Under Pressure, which grants more stability and accuracy as the magazine gets lower. These are seriously all good options, but if I had to rank my top 3 perks in this column, they would be Rangefinder, Subsistence, and Killing Wind in no particular order. In the second column, you have Snapshot, which is universally at least a B+ tier perk. It's a good perk. Everyone likes Snapshot. Surrounded, which is solid for PvE ad clearing. Swashbuckler for extra damage after kills, stacking up to 5 stacks. Demolitionist for extra grenade energy after a kill. Harmony, the new perk that gives your weapon a damage boost when you switch to it after securing a kill with a different weapon in your loadout. And Headstone, which leaves a stasis crystal at the location of an enemy you just killed if you finish them off with a headshot. A lot of people are chasing that Headstone roll because of how well it pairs with stasis subclasses. Personally, I don't enjoy playing stasis, so I pass on this one. But I do recognize the insane utility this perk has in conjunction with various stasis abilities. So that being said, if I had to recommend my top 3 perks in this column, they would be Swashbuckler, Demolitionist, and Headstone. These are all good perks depending on what you're going to be using the sidearm for, but those would be the top 3 for me. So I hope that you're starting to see between the base stats of the weapon and the perk combinations and the base archetype of the weapon and the base element of the weapon just why this thing is making such a big splash. A lot of times Bungie goes pretty timid on new weapons. Take for example the new Iron Banner Pulse Rifle, which to me is very underwhelming, as I've been saying since day 1 of Iron Banner this week. But the sidearm, it looks like they decided to make a banger gun and they totally succeeded. I would highly recommend that you take the time to go chasing after one of these this week. Just hop in the solo playlist and work through the new Iron Banner quest line that you pick up from Lord Saladin. It won't take you too long, maybe just a handful of matches to get your sidearm guaranteed drop. Beyond that, it can drop randomly at the end of matches, or from turning in tokens or bounties. I've had about a dozen of them drop so far, and this one was by far the absolute best one. The Rangefinder and Swashbuckler combination is just downright disgusting, and I think I'm going to be using this thing a whole lot this season. So best of luck to all of you going out there and farming Iron Banner this week. I hope your RNG is good and your drops are many. Thanks so much, by the way, for watching the video today, and if you liked it, then please feel free to leave a like on the video. Thank you to any of you who have chosen to become channel members and get the member badge and stickers. You choosing to support me and my family is what makes all of this possible for me. If you're interested in joining the channel as a member, there's a link in the description to help you get started. And I even reduced the base membership price from $5 to $3. So unlike Twitch and Facebook, it's only $3 to get in that entry level of membership. The streams lately have been absolutely incredible, and having 500, 700, even 1,000 viewers concurrently in chat hanging out and talking has really given me just so much energy lately on stream days. So thank you very, very much. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.